After her grandpa died, Anna came back to his old house alone. The house stood at the end of a quiet street, surrounded by tall trees and a small broken fence. Anna had not been there for many years. When she stepped inside, the air felt heavy and still. Every sound, even her footsteps, felt louder than usual. The house looked the same, but it also felt different. It felt empty, like it was waiting for someone who would never return. Anna moved slowly through the rooms. The wooden floor creaked under her feet. Old photos hung on the walls, showing moments from long ago. There were pictures of her grandpa smiling, holding tools, standing proudly in front of the house. Anna stopped at one photo and stared at it for a long time. Her grandpa had always been a quiet man, but his eyes in the photo were full of warmth. He never spoke much about his past, and Anna often felt there were many stories he kept to himself. The living room smelled faintly of dust and old books. His chair was still near the window, facing the garden. Anna remembered how he used to sit there every evening, watching the sky change colors as the sun went down. He would drink tea and say very little, but Anna always felt safe beside him. Now the chair was empty, and the silence around it felt painful. She went into the kitchen next. Everything was clean and carefully arranged. Her grandpa liked things simple and neat. On the wall near the door, Anna noticed a small hook with a single key hanging from it. The key looked old and slightly worn. She stared at it, feeling a strange pull in her chest. She knew that key very well. It was the key to the garage. The garage had always been her grandpa's special place. When Anna was younger, she was not allowed to go inside without permission. Sometimes she would peek through the window and see him working inside, fixing something, polishing tools, or just standing quietly, thinking. When she asked him what he was working on, he would smile and say it was nothing important. But Anna always felt that the garage held secrets. After his death, no one had opened the garage. Family members were busy with other things, and no one talked about it. Now Anna was the only one left in the house, and the key was right in front of her. She took a deep breath and picked it up. It felt cold in her hand. Anna walked down the narrow path toward the garage behind the house. The grass had grown tall around it, and the door looked old and dusty. She stood there for a moment, unsure. Part of her felt scared, and another part felt curious. She wondered why her grandpa had never talked about what he kept inside. She wondered if opening the garage would change how she remembered him. She unlocked the door slowly. The sound of the lock opening echoed in the quiet yard. When she pushed the door open, a soft smell of oil, wood, and old metal filled the air. Sunlight slipped through the small windows, lighting up floating dust in the air. Inside, everything was carefully placed. Tools hung neatly on the walls. Shelves were filled with boxes, jars, and small parts. It did not look abandoned at all. It looked like her grandpa had just stepped out for a moment and planned to return. Anna walked further inside, her eyes moving from one corner to another. Then she saw it. In the center of the garage stood a large shape covered with a thick gray cloth. It was bigger than a table and taller than her waist. The cloth was clean, not dusty like the rest of the room. That detail made her heart beat faster. She stood still, staring at the covered shape. Her mind filled with questions. What was under it? Why did her grandpa hide it so carefully? Why had he never told anyone about it? Anna reached out but stopped her hand in the air. She felt nervous, as if touching the cover would break something important. Memories of her grandpa flashed through her mind. His quiet smile. His calm voice. The way he always said that some things were meant to be discovered at the right time. After a moment, she gathered her courage. She held the edge of the cover tightly. Her hands shook slightly as she pulled it back just a little. She could not see what was underneath yet, but she could tell it was smooth and solid. Anna stepped back and looked around the garage again. On the wall near the door, she noticed a small calendar with notes written on it. The last date marked was weeks before her grandpa passed away. There were short words written beside it, words like polish, clean, check. Whatever was under that cover, He had taken care of it until the very end. Her chest felt tight with emotion. She realized that this garage was not just a place to store tools. It was a place where her grandpa spent his time, his energy, and his dreams. And now, she was standing in the middle of it, about to uncover something he had protected for years. Anna turned back toward the covered object. Sunlight fell across it, making the shape clearer. She placed both hands on the cloth, ready to pull it away fully. She did not know what she would find, but she felt certain of one thing. Whatever was hidden there would change how she understood her grandpa forever. With a deep breath, Anna prepared to reveal the secret that waited silently beneath the cover. Anna stood still for a long moment, both hands resting on the thick cover. The garage was quiet, except for the soft sound of her breathing. Sunlight came through the small windows and fell across the covered shape, making it look even more mysterious. Her heart felt heavy, but also excited. She knew this moment mattered. Slowly, Anna pulled the cover back. The cloth slid down and touched the floor. As more of the object was revealed, her eyes widened. Under the cover was a car. It was not an ordinary car. It looked old, but strong. The body was smooth and clean. The paint was a deep blue, shining even after all these years. It was clear that someone had taken great care of it. Anna stepped back in surprise. She had never seen this car before. Her grandpa never talked about owning a car like this. She walked around it slowly, touching the side with gentle fingers. The metal felt cool and solid. The tires looked new, not dry or cracked. Everything about the car showed love and patience. She opened the driver door carefully. The inside smelled clean, with a mix of leather and something familiar that reminded her of her grandpa. On the seat, she noticed a small envelope. Her name was written on it in neat handwriting. Her hands trembled as she picked it up. Anna sat in the driver's seat and held the envelope close for a moment before opening it. She felt like her grandpa was right there with her, watching quietly as he always did. Then she opened the letter and began to read. The letter was simple, just like him. He wrote that the car was something he worked on for many years. It was not just a project, but a dream. He said he never finished many things in life, but this car was one thing he gave his time and heart to. He wrote that Anna was the one he trusted most. He believed she would understand what the car meant. As Anna read, tears filled her eyes. The words were calm, but full of feeling. He wrote that the garage was his quiet world. A place where he thought, remembered, and hoped. He said he did not talk much because he believed actions spoke louder than words. The car was his way of speaking. Anna folded the letter carefully and placed it back in the envelope. She looked around the garage again, but now everything felt different. The tools on the walls were not just tools. They were part of his story. The shelves were not just storage. They were proof of years of work and care. She stepped out of the car and walked around the garage, noticing things she had missed before. There were notebooks on a small table in the corner. Anna picked one up and opened it. Inside were drawings, notes, and dates. Some pages showed small plans, others showed problems and solutions. Her grandpa had written everything by hand. It showed how careful and thoughtful he was. Anna realized that this car was not hidden because he was ashamed or secretive. It was hidden because it was personal. It was his safe place. And now, he had passed that place on to her. She spent hours in the garage that day. She cleaned the windows so more light could come in. She wiped dust from the shelves and floor. She did not rush. She felt calm, like time moved slower inside the garage. Every small task made her feel closer to her grandpa. As evening came, Anna sat on a small stool near the car. She thought about her own life. She had been unsure about her future for a long time. She often felt lost and afraid of making the wrong choice. But sitting there, she felt something change. Her grandpa trusted her with something important. That trust made her feel stronger. Before leaving the garage, Anna covered the car again, but this time it felt different. It was no longer a secret. It was a promise. She locked the garage and walked back to the house as the sky turned orange and pink. That night, Anna lay in her old room, staring at the ceiling. Her mind was full of thoughts. She remembered the letter, the car, and the quiet love her grandpa showed without many words. She understood that the garage was not just about the car. It was about patience, care, and believing in something even when no one else saw it. Anna knew that opening the garage was only the beginning. There was more to learn, more to understand. And deep inside, she felt ready to take the next step, even if she did not know exactly where it would lead. The next morning, Anna woke up early. Sunlight came through the small window of her old room, lighting the faded curtains. For a moment, she forgot where she was. Then the memories returned. The quiet house. The garage. The car. She sat up slowly, her heart beating fast, as if she had been carrying a secret through the night. Anna got dressed and walked into the kitchen. She made a simple breakfast, but she barely tasted it. Her mind stayed on the garage. She felt like something was calling her there again. After cleaning the table, she took the garage key and stepped outside. The air was cool and fresh. Birds sat on the fence, singing softly. The garage stood still at the end of the path, just like before. Anna unlocked the door and stepped inside. The familiar smell greeted her, but this time it felt warm instead of strange. She pulled the cover off the car again. The blue paint caught the light, shining brightly. Anna smiled gently. She walked around the car, noticing small details she missed before. There were tiny marks on the body, signs of careful work done by hand. Each mark felt like a message from her grandpa. Anna opened the trunk and found a small wooden box. It was smooth and polished, with no lock. She opened it slowly. Inside were old photos, letters, and a small metal badge. She picked up the badge first. It had a simple design, worn by time. She did not know what it was, but she knew it mattered. She looked through the photos next. Many showed her grandpa as a young man, standing beside the same car, but it looked different back then. The paint was dull, the body rough. He stood with a serious face, but his eyes showed pride. Anna realized that this car had been with him for most of his life. One photo caught her attention. It showed her grandpa standing with another man. They both had their hands on the car. The man beside him looked happy, smiling widely. Anna had never seen him before. On the back of the photo, there were words written in faded ink. For the road ahead. Anna placed the photo back and picked up the letters. They were old, tied together with a thin string. She untied them and began to read. The letters spoke of dreams, hard times, and long days of work. Her grandpa wrote about learning, failing, and trying again. He wrote about building something not just with hands, but with heart. As Anna read, she felt closer to him than ever before. She understood that the car was not just a project. It was a symbol of his journey. Every repair, every change, every long night in the garage was part of his story. She sat down on the garage floor, surrounded by the past. Time passed quietly. The sun moved across the sky, but Anna did not notice. She was lost in the words and images of a life she never fully knew. Later that day, Anna decided to take a small step. She wanted to start the car. She was nervous, but she felt ready. She checked everything carefully, just like her grandpa would have done. She sat in the driver's seat, took a deep breath, and turned the key. The engine started smoothly. The sound filled the garage, steady and strong. Anna smiled through tears. It felt like the car was alive, like it had been waiting for her. She turned the engine off and sat quietly for a moment, letting the feeling settle. Anna knew she could not keep this discovery to herself. That evening, she called her friend Mia. Mia had known Anna since childhood and understood her better than anyone. Anna told her about the garage, the car, and the letter. Mia listened closely, asking gentle questions. The next day, Mia came to see the car. When she walked into the garage, she stopped in surprise. She circled the car slowly, just like Anna had done. She said it was beautiful and special. But more than that, she said it felt full of history. Mia noticed something else too. She pointed out that the car was more than just restored. It was ready for the road. That idea stayed with Anna long after Mia left. That night, Anna sat alone again, thinking deeply. She realized that her grandpa did not just leave her a car. He left her a choice. She could keep it hidden, safe in the garage. Or she could take it out, let it move, and give it new memories. As the house grew quiet, Anna looked toward the garage window. A soft light came from inside, reflecting off the blue paint. She felt a sense of calm and purpose. The past had spoken, and now it was her turn to listen and decide what to do next. The next few days passed quietly, but Anna felt different inside. She woke up each morning with a sense of purpose she had not felt before. The house no longer felt empty. It felt like a place holding memories and waiting for new ones. Each time she looked toward the garage, her heart felt steady instead of heavy. Anna decided it was time to take the car outside. Not far, not fast, just a simple drive. She wanted to feel what her grandpa must have felt when he worked on it, dreamed about it, and trusted it. Early one morning, she opened the garage door wide. Sunlight poured in, lighting up the blue paint. The car looked even more beautiful in the open air. She removed the cover and checked everything carefully. She remembered the notes in the notebook and followed them step by step. Oil checked. Tires checked. Everything felt ready. Anna sat in the driver's seat, holding the wheel gently. She closed her eyes for a moment and took a deep breath. When she turned the key, the engine started smoothly. The sound was calm and strong. Anna smiled softly. She slowly drove the car out of the garage. The wheels touched the driveway, and for the first time, the car stood fully under the sky. As Anna drove down the quiet street, neighbors stopped and stared. Some waved, some smiled. The car moved smoothly, as if it knew the road well. Anna felt nervous at first, but soon the fear faded. The car felt safe. It felt familiar, even though it was her first time driving it. She drove toward the open road outside town. Trees lined both sides, and the sky was clear. As the wind moved past her, Anna felt free. She realized how long she had been holding herself back in life. Always unsure. Always afraid to move forward. But now, she was moving, and it felt right. Anna stopped at a small hill where the road overlooked the town. She parked the car and stepped outside. The view was peaceful. Houses looked small from up there, and the world felt wide and open. She leaned against the car and thought about her grandpa. She imagined him standing there with her, quiet but proud. He had worked hard in his life. He had faced challenges, kept going, and built something meaningful. Anna understood now that he wanted her to do the same. Not just with the car, but with her life. Later that day, Anna visited an old friend of her grandpa named Tom. She found his name written in one of the notebooks. Tom lived in a small house near the edge of town. When Anna arrived, Tom looked surprised to see the car parked outside. He walked toward it slowly, his eyes wide. He touched the hood gently and smiled. He told Anna that he and her grandpa worked on the car together many years ago. They were young then, full of plans. Life took them in different directions, but the car remained important to both of them. Tom shared stories Anna had never heard before. Stories of long nights in the garage, of mistakes and laughter, of learning and patience. He said her grandpa never gave up on the car, even when times were hard. He believed that one day, it would mean something special. Anna listened quietly. Each story added another layer to her understanding. She realized the car was not just about the past. It was meant to connect people, memories, and hope. As the sun began to set, Anna drove back home. The road felt different now. It no longer felt like a place to escape from. It felt like a path forward. When she parked the car back in the garage, she did not cover it right away. She stood there, looking at it, feeling proud. That night, Anna sat at the kitchen table with a notebook of her own. She began to write. She wrote about the car, the stories, and the feelings she had discovered. Writing helped her think clearly. She realized she wanted to share this story with others. Not for attention, but to honor her grandpa. Days turned into weeks. Anna began fixing small things on the car, learning more each day. Mia often came to help, bringing laughter into the garage. The space that once felt quiet now felt alive. Anna also began to think about the future. She had always been unsure about her path, but now she felt confident. She wanted to restore old things, tell their stories, and give them new life. The car had shown her that the past and future could meet in a meaningful way. One evening, Anna stood in the garage again, the door open, the sky turning dark blue. She rested her hand on the car and smiled. The journey had already begun, not just on the road, but inside her heart. And she knew that something even bigger was waiting ahead. Time passed, and the seasons slowly changed. The house that once felt silent now felt warm and alive. Anna had stayed longer than she planned, but she no longer felt unsure about it. Every morning, she opened the garage door and greeted the car like an old friend. It was no longer just her grandpa's car. It had become part of her own life. Anna began driving the car more often. She took it to nearby towns, small markets, and quiet roads surrounded by fields. Wherever she went, people noticed the car. Some smiled. Some asked questions. Anna always answered kindly, sharing small parts of the story. Each time she spoke about her grandpa, she felt proud instead of sad. One day, a local event was announced in town. It was a simple gathering where people showed old items they cared about, things with history and meaning. Mia encouraged Anna to take the car there. At first, Anna felt nervous. She had never shared something so personal before. But after thinking deeply, she agreed. On the day of the event, Anna cleaned the car carefully. She polished the blue paint until it shined under the sun. When she arrived at the open field, people gathered around almost immediately. They asked about the car, its age, and its condition. Anna spoke calmly, telling them how her grandpa worked on it for years and trusted her to continue the journey. An older woman in the crowd listened quietly. She later told Anna that her grandpa was a man who believed in patience and care. She said the car showed that clearly. Those words stayed with Anna. As the day went on, Anna realized something important. Sharing the car did not take anything away from her grandpa's memory. Instead, it made his story grow. His quiet life was now touching people he never met. That made Anna feel peaceful. After the event, Anna sat in the car and thought about everything that had changed. Before coming back to this house, she felt lost. She did not know what she wanted to do or where she belonged. Now, she felt grounded. She understood that her grandpa had not just left her a car. He had left her direction. Anna decided to stay in town and open the garage to others. Not as a business at first, but as a place where old things could be fixed and cared for. People began bringing small items, chairs, lamps, tools. Anna worked on them slowly, learning as she went. Tom often visited, offering advice and stories. Mia helped with cleaning and organizing. The garage became a place of quiet work and shared moments. One afternoon, Anna found another letter hidden inside one of the notebooks. It was short, written in her grandpa's steady handwriting. It said that life was like the road. It did not need to be rushed. What mattered was moving forward with care and honesty. Anna folded the letter and placed it in her pocket. She stepped outside and looked at the sky. She felt calm. She felt ready. Months later, Anna took the car on a longer drive. She packed a small bag and followed a road her grandpa once marked in his notes. The road led through hills, open land, and quiet towns. Along the way, Anna stopped, talked to people, and listened to their stories. She realized that everyone carried something from the past, just like she did. When Anna returned home, the garage lights were on. Mia and Tom were inside, laughing and talking. Anna parked the car and joined them. In that moment, she understood that she was not alone anymore. The house was no longer just a place of memory. It was a place of growth. The garage was no longer a secret space. It was open, honest, and full of life. As the evening settled, Anna stood by the garage door and looked at the car one last time for the day. She placed her hand on the hood and smiled softly. Her grandpa's journey had ended, but his story continued through her actions. Anna knew the road ahead would not always be easy. There would be challenges and hard days. But she also knew she had learned something important. With patience, care, and belief, even the quietest dreams could move forward. And as the garage door slowly closed for the night, Anna felt certain that the stunning discovery under that cover had not only changed her past, but had shaped her future.